Alrighty, folks, we are hitting at 82% in our last dozen NFL premium package plays on my premium site. And the good news is I have 3 more NFL premium package plays going off here this week. And if you sign up for that membership, you're going to get access to 3 premium NFL selections every single week for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NFL Week 9 video here for the 2024 season. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Of course, if you want to access all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive right into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Texans at the Jets, 8:15 Thursday night. The Jets are -2, totals 42. And this line definitely flipped. It was Houston -1 earlier in the week, now catching 2. The Texans are 6-2 straight up, 4-4 against the point spread. New York just 2-6 straight up, 2-6 against the number. Now, the Jets have seen their last 3 straight games get over the posted number. Those were overs against the likes of the Patriots, Steelers, and Bills. Meanwhile, on the offensive end of things, they're completing nearly 24 throws a game despite their recent struggles. Meanwhile, for Houston on the other side, well, they've got little problems throwing the football themselves. They're 8th in the league in passing yards. They also saw an over a few weeks ago against the Patriots themselves. Give the over 42. Of course, if you want to see a play on the spread or let's stop talking, Brock. All right, next game going into our Sunday slate. Patriots Titans 1 o'clock Eastern start. Tennessee is -4, totals 38. The Titans are 1-6 straight up. They failed to cover in all their contests this year except for one. Meanwhile, the Pats 2-6 straight up, 2-6 against the number. Now, the Patriots are coming fresh off a 25-22 win over the Jets. And I tell you what, even though they've struggled a bit on defense, they're a pretty well-disciplined bunch. They don't make a lot of mistakes with regard to penalties. They're actually 7th in the league in fewest penalties per game. And they're facing a sloppy Tennessee offense who turns it over a whole lot, and they really don't move the chains very much. They lead the league in interceptions, dead last in quarterback rating. Give me New England +4, under 38. Next matchup, Chargers-Browns, 1 o'clock East. The Chargers are -1, totals 43. It was actually a 1.5-point fade of Los Angeles. They opened 2.5. LA's 4-3 straight up, 4-3 against the point spread. Browns 2-6 straight up, 3-5 against the number. And even though Cleveland had a spirited win with Jameis under the helm last week, the Chargers on the other side have had a week or so to prepare for Jameis. So I think they're going to be ready for him, probably going to be able to exploit him, put him in positions that make him uncomfortable. LA's defense allows a league-low 13 points a game. And no real surprise here, they're 8th in the league in yards allowed per contest. Now, D. Henley leads the unit in tackles. Mack and Dupree have a handful of sacks between the both of them. And they could potentially feast on Sunday because this Cleveland O-line, they allow more sacks per game than any other team in the league. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of things, this Cleveland secondary, they've been susceptible to the big play. They're 30th in yards allowed per completion. Give me the Chargers -1. Next matchup, Commanders-Giants, 1 o'clock East. Washington's -3.5, totals 44. 0.5-point move toward the Commanders in this one, opened at 3. Washington 6-2 straight up, 7-1 against the point spread. New York 2-6 straight up, 2-6 against the number. The G-Men are on a 3-game skid, and they're averaging only 14 points per contest. And when it comes to protecting Danny Jones, well, this O-line's 30th in sacks allowed. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a very good pass rush in Washington. These guys are in the top 10 in sacks, 6th in defensive passing. Give me Washington -3.5, under 44. Next game, Broncos-Ravens, 1 o'clock East. Baltimore's -9.5, totals 46 and a hook. Baltimore 5-3 straight up, 4-4 against the point spread. Denver 5-3 straight up, 6-2 against the number. As a matter of fact, the Broncos covered in 5 out of their last 6 ball games. Arguably one of the best defenses in the game. Denver allows fewer yards per play than any other team. No real surprise here. They lead the league in fewest yards allowed per completion. Nick Bonitto leads the D in sacks. Cooper with 5.5 sacks himself. And they're facing a Baltimore team who allows their fair share of points themselves. They're giving up more fourth quarter points than any other team. So that back door could potentially be open. They also have the worst passing defense in all of football right now. They're giving up more yards a game through the air than any other secondary. I think the Broncos can keep it close late. Give me Denver +9.5. Next matchup, Raiders-Bengals, 1 o'clock Eastern start. Cincinnati's -7, totals 46. 1.5 point fade of the Bengals in this one, opened 8.5. Cincy 3-5 straight up, 4-4 against the point spread. Vegas 2-6 straight up, 4-4 against the number. And both defenses with their fair share of problems. The Raiders are allowing 26 points a game. Bengals giving up over 25 a game themselves. Now, 5 out of Cincy's last 7 outings did get over the total. Meanwhile, Vegas went 5-2 to the over in their last 7 themselves. I like the over 46. Next matchup, Saints-Panthers, 1 o'clock Eastern start. New Orleans is -8, totals 43.5. We saw a 1-point move toward the Saints in this one, opened at 7. New Orleans 2-6 straight up, 3-5 against the number. Carolina 1-7 straight up, 1-7 against the point spread. But I do think this could potentially be a spot where Carolina can cover. To be fair, neither offense is doing much. New Orleans scored just 18 points in the last 2 weeks. They're averaging only 15 points a game since week 3. And their defense really hasn't kept them in games. The Saints allow more yards per game than any other team. And even though there's really not much the Panthers do right, well, their O-line is 9th in fewest sacks allowed, and the offense is 7th in fewest fumbles. So, listen, I had to scour the earth for those positive remarks, but regardless, they're there. Now, total-wise, the Panthers did see unders against the Commanders and Chargers. Meanwhile, New Orleans saw unders in 3 out of their last 5 themselves, throwing out that Denver game. I think this will be a stinker. Give me Carolina +8, under 43.5. Next contest, Cowboys-Falcons, 1 o'clock East. Atlanta's -2, totals 52. 0.5 point fade of Atlanta in this one, open 2.5. The Falcons are 5-3 straight up, 4-4 against the point spread. Dallas 3-4 straight up, 2-5 against the number. As a matter of fact, the Cowboys failed to cover the point spread in 5 out of their last 6. Defense has been terrible during that time frame. As a matter of fact, this Cowboy defense gives up more points a game than any other team except for one. They're also dead last in penalties, dead last in yards allowed per completion. And they're facing an Atlanta club who definitely likes to sling it. Kirk Cousins, he's thrown for over 2,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. London and Moody, they have over 1,000 yards receiving combined. I think Kirko could throw it all over the yard in this one. Give me Atlanta -2. Next contest, Dolphins-Bills, 1 o'clock East. Buffalo's -6, totals 48.5. We did see a 0.5 point fade of Buffalo. The Bills are 6-2 straight up, 5-3 against the point spread. Miami 2-5 straight up, 1-6 against the number. And I do think this one could potentially get over the posted total. Miami is coming fresh off an over against Arizona. They also saw the over cash against Tennessee a few weeks ago. Meanwhile, Buffalo saw overs in 2 out of their last 3 themselves. Overs against the likes of Tennessee and the Jets. Give me the over 48.5. Next matchup, Jags-Birds, 405 East. Philadelphia is -7, totals 46. Half a point move toward Philadelphia, open 6.5. Philadelphia 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the point spread. Jacksonville 2-6 straight up, 4-4 against the number. This Jags defense is allowing 28 points a game. They've got the second worst secondary in football, at least by the numbers. These guys allow more passing yards per game than any other team except Baltimore. And no real surprise here, they're actually allowing nearly 6.3 yards per play from scrimmage. They're also second worst in the league in that particular category. And they're facing an Eagles team on the other side who looks like a completely different offense over the past couple of weeks. They're throwing it a lot less, running it a lot more. They're averaging over 28 points a game over the past 3 contests. When it comes to running the football, they're second in the league with 166 yards a game on the ground. Saquon Barkley's rushed for 766 and a handful of scores. He also has a receiving touchdown out of the backfield. Give me the Birds, -7. Next game, Bears-Cards, 405 East. Arizona's -1.5, totals 44. Arizona 4-4 straight up, 5-3 against the point spread. Chicago 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the number. And even though the Bears haven't really been offensive juggernauts, they do tend to turn up the heat late. They're in the top 3 in fourth quarter scoring. And over the past 4 weeks, the Bears have actually averaged 28 points a game. And they're facing a sloppy Cardinal defense who's in the bottom 5 in yards allowed per play from scrimmage. They're actually giving up nearly 6.2 yards per play. They're also letting their competition complete 72% of their throws against them. Not a huge pass rush. Give me Chicago +1.5, over 44. Next contest, Lions-Packers, 425 East. Detroit's -3, totals 48. 1.5 point fade of the Lions. They open 4.5 down to 3. Detroit 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the point spread. Green Bay 6-2 straight up, 4-4 against the number. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line total or against the point spread in this one, this game is being featured as one of my NFL premium package plays on my premium site. Next game, Rams-Seahawks, 425 East. The Rams are -1.5, totals 48. And we did see this line flip. It was Seattle -1.5 a few days ago, now catching 1.5. Seattle 4-4 straight up, 2-6 against the point spread. Rams 3-4 straight up, 2-5 against the number. And both defenses with their fair share of issues. The Seahawks have a bottom 5 rushing defense. They're also 25th in the league in defensive completion percentage. And just for scale, it's a 32-team league. So 25th out of 32 in completion percentage on D. Meanwhile, this Rams secondary, they haven't been much better. They give up more yards per completion than any other secondary besides one. LA saw 4 out of their last 6 get over the total. Seattle went 5-3 to the over in their last 8. Overs against the likes of San Francisco, the Giants, and Detroit. Give me the over 48. Next contest, Colts, Vikings, 8:20 Sunday night. Minnesota's -6, totals 46.5. Half a point fade of the Vikes. Minnesota's 5-2 straight up, 5-2 against the point spread. In Indy, 4-4 straight up, 7-1 against the number. As a matter of fact, the Colts have covered the point spread in their last 6 straight. Their defense has allowed only 16 points a game in their last 3 contests. Zaire Franklin leads the day in tackles. Nick Cross has 76 tackles on the year himself. And they're facing a Minnesota team who lost their last 2 straight. And they've played some terrible defense over the past month or so. They're allowing 27 points a game over their past 4 contests. And I'll tell you what, this Minnesota secondary, they're allowing more completed balls a game than any other team. Give me Indy +6. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final game for the video. Buccaneers-Chiefs, 8:15 Monday night. KC -9, totals 45. Half a point fade of KC, open 9.5. Kansas City 7-0 straight up, 5-2 against the point spread. Tampa Bay 4-4 straight up, 4-4 against the number. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line, total, or against the point spread in this one, I'm sure this game will probably make its way to my premium page on Monday. And with that, folks, now it is time for my quick pick recap. I like the over 42 in the Houston Jets game. Give me New England +3.5, under 38. Chargers -1, getting the job done against the number. Commanders -3.5, under 44. I'm hitting at 82%. My last dozen NFL premium package picks on my premium page. Give me Washington -3.5, under 44. Denver +9.5, getting the job done against the number. I like the over 46 in the Raiders-Bengals game. Carolina +8, under 43.5. Atlanta -2, getting the job done against the number. Give me the over 48.5 in the Dolphins-Bills game. Philadelphia -7. Chicago +1.5, over 44. I have no free pick available for you in the Lions-Packers game. I like the over 48 in the Rams-Seahawks game. Give me the Colts +6. And I have no free pick available for you in the Buccaneers-Chiefs game. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that, folks, happy week 9 to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.